to Sports Today's Morning News Wrap. I'm Siddharth Gulati and I'm going to bring you all the latest updates that made the headlines on different newspapers and on various digital platforms. So, as always, as it has been our usual drill, let's just begin with some cricket news and specifically some IPL updates here. Well, in yesterday's match between CSK and the reigning champions Kolkata Knight Riders, it turned out to be a last over thriller in which CSK got the better of KKR and made sure that they brought an end to their losing slump in IPL 2025. Well, at one stage, it did look like that CSK would not really be able to overhaul the target of 180 that was set by Kolkata Knight Riders. But however, it was the innings of Dewar Brevis, the quickfire 50 that he played, the calmness of MS Dhoni, and at the very same time, Shivam Dubey's useful knock that made sure that CSK were able to break their losing jinx in the 2025 edition of the Indian Premier League. Now, what this has also meant for Kolkata Knight Riders is that they are pretty much on the verge of exit from this year's edition. For KKR at max now they can get to a total of 15 points, and whether that's really going to be enough or not, well, that remains to be seen. For Kolkata Knight Riders, 15 points at this particular stage. If I look at the most important scenario is that they would not really be able to qualify, because at this stage 15 might not really be enough. But then, if the couple of teams suffer a slump, let's say Punjab Kings lose a couple of matches, same can happen with Gujarat Titans also, or maybe any of the other teams, Delhi Capitals too, then Kolkata Knight Riders might still stand a chance. But then for all the KKR fans who are watching this or who are probably going to watch this a little later, this is a bad news that your tournament is all but over as far as the IPL 2025 is concerned. If we talk about the post-match reactions, MS Dhoni, the CSK stand-in captain, has basically said this thing that he's still not sure as to whether he's going to make a comeback for the 2026 season or not, because there is nothing that he is deciding as of now, but he just wants to enjoy his cricket and see how his body actually shapes up for the next couple of seasons. On the other hand, there is a massive report that has emerged after Rohit Sharma's retirement, is that Shubman Gill is set to replace Rohit as India's Test captain starting from the England tour that's going to take place shortly after the end of the IPL. Well, Shubman Gill, despite all the poor record that he has in the Senna countries, he's hardly scored a 50 there in the last 3-4 years ever since making his debut. He's still set to take over from Rohit, and the idea is basically clear from the selectors that you want a long-term captain in the longest format of the game, and that's where Gill's name has been discussed a lot, and maybe the announcement could be made in the next few days or so when the selectors pick the squad for the England tour. And that's where I would say, stay tuned to Sports Today, because we'll bring you all the latest updates regarding the squad announcement for the England tour here and who's going to be the next Test captain of India. So before I move on, let me just take a couple of comments. Nashley, good morning. How are you? He's saying that Gill era begins. Yes, more than likely it looks like now that he's going to take over, but let's see what happens. There can still be a change. Shushmit Chauhan, good morning. Seeing you for the first time in the comment section, or maybe first time in a long time here. A comment is that Gill himself is struggling to score runs in Test. How can he be given Test captaincy? This is one of my points also. I had also raised this thing in one of the dugouts that we had done regarding the captaincy candidates, and even a couple of days when I did this morning wrap. I think it makes sense to maybe give captaincy to someone like a Rishabh Pant, because he's the one whose place in Test cricket or the Test 11 isn't really under question mark at all. So for me, Rishabh Pant should be the captain. Ideally, I would have wanted anyone, to captain for this England tour, or starting with this England tour, barring Rohit Sharma, because what happened in Australia, Rohit Sharma did not look in form at all. His Test captaincy also had taken a massive hit. The tactics weren't really up to the mark, irrespective of the conditions. So I was always in favor of having a new captain, because you're building towards a new WTC cycle. Personally, I'm in favor of having Rishabh Pant, but even if it's Shubman Gill, it's still fine because the point here is that the selectors have taken a decision in the right direction that you want a young captain who can probably be here for the next 4 to 5 years or 5 to 6 years or so, which means that he'll probably cover the next 2 to 3 WTC cycles. So good decision. But my personal choice is it has to be Rishabh Pant because he's the one whose place in the Test 11 is not really under scanner. Uh, Nationally saying race for the top four is still tight. Yeah, KKR can still make it, but it's more of a mathematical chance here. Freaking awesome as a comment that our management is still hyping Gill. Even if you take his best format, he hasn't delivered yet outside Asia. Has played only one ODI in Australia. He hasn't played any ODIs in England and South Africa yet. Yes, there is a challenge that Gill will face. So, but overall, I think it's going to be a big challenge if Gill is appointed captain. You would have Surya Kumar Yadav as the T20 captain, and assuming Gill is picked, so he'll be the Test captain. And that's where I think the conflict would also arise. That whether you want to have three different captains for three different formats, or you would want to have some kind of continuity that you have one captain for Test and ODIs and another for the T20 format. So yes, I think tough days for the Indian cricket team, but at the very same time, it's going to be a transition, and I'm sure that fans will have many reasons to smile about, irrespective of who the new Test captain is. Freaking awesome is saying Shreyas will be the next captain. Shreyas will be the next captain after Rohit's retirement from ODIs. For now, we don't have many choices in tests. Pant is not a bad choice for test captaincy. Yeah, absolutely. It is the case. Nashley is also saying that isn't really going to happen. Rohit in all likelihood will be the captain. I think that's still a question mark, I would say. Like under Rohit, you have won 2 white ball tournaments, and that's a massive thing for that matter. But overall, I think if Rohit decides to continue, then there is nobody who can actually touch him as the test captain. But you would also want to have some kind of continuity and have Rohit as a batter in one-day format. So that's, I think, one of the things here that the selectors would also want to discuss. Continuity is the most important point here. Saket Mishra, taken your feedback. I'll take care of it, as and when, things are really right. So if you're hearing this, it's good. Well, today it's going to be another IPL game, more important game for Delhi Capitals. They're going to take on Punjab Kings in Dharamshala. A must-win game for both sides. Punjab Kings, if they win this, they get to 17 points and take a step closer to the IPL playoffs. For Delhi Capitals, they'll also take an important step, to the playoffs. If they win this, they'll get to a 15 points. But if Delhi lose this, then it's going to be very tough for them to seal a place in the final four. They'll have only 2 more games left after this. And at max, assuming they lose today, they can only get to a 17 points, and whether 17 is really going to be enough or not, well, that remains to be seen. But in the dugout that we have done, or the predictions that we have discussed, this time around 17 might not really be enough. So you are in a must-win territory, and that's where you would want to win all your matches. On the other hand, Rajasthan Royals' batter Nitish Rana has been ruled out due to injury, and in his place, RR have signed the uncapped South African opening batter Luandre Pretorius, who made a mark for himself in the SA20 2025 edition, scored a lot of runs there. Remember hitting a 6 of Trent Bolt, a one-handed 6 of Trent Bolt, I think over deep mid-wicket there. So that's the change that they have had, and it remains to be seen whether he's going to play in the next couple of matches of Rajasthan Royals or not. But this is the change that they have made. On the other hand, there have been a couple of reactions to Rohit Sharma's retirement. Ajinkya Rahane has expressed surprise that he did not really have any idea about it. He's going to speak to Rohit for his decision that he has made. On the other hand, Manoj Tiwari has also expressed surprise that why Rohit Sharma did not really get a farewell test. He deserved a farewell test there. So that's about it as far as the morning news updates are concerned. Now this is an important section that I always have. I have the newspaper with me, Let's see, if there's anything important that we are missing out here. Jimmy Muston has powered India into the Tri-Series final in Sri Lanka. Then Punjab Kings, Delhi Capitals head-to-head is Punjab 17, Delhi 16. Compound teams are in the World Cup finals here, both the men's and women's teams. And Shrikant, Ayush, Unnati have advanced in the World Junior Championships as far as badminton is concerned. Um, Anything important that I am missing here? Yeah, I think last thing, Gukesh Prague, they're going to battle to draw at Superbet. So that's about it as far as the morning wrap is concerned. Stay tuned to Sports Today as we'll bring you all the latest updates and analysis from the sporting world. And there's going to be a proper dugout that we have at around 5:30 p.m. today, discussing any of the important aspects relating to Indian cricket or the IPL. Um, More importantly, there's going to be a proper discussion on the PBKS and Delhi Capitals match. We'll provide you with a toss update, a proper mid-innings discussion, and obviously a full panel discussion as and when the match ends. So I'm assuming all the... Okay, we still have a couple of comments here. Freaking awesome is saying 200 plus never been scored in the second innings in Dharamshala. Team batting first have the advantage. Absolutely. The second innings, there is more zip for the bowlers also. Nashley is saying PBKS has another 230 plus here. But remember, yes, correct. You have a point. RCB did score her high last season, but 200 has never been chased. So let's hope the match take place safely, and we'll see, how things progress, and we'll provide you with all the latest updates. Until then, it's Siddharth Gulati saying goodbye, and thank you to all who provided their comments for joining me. Keep showering your love and keep putting in your comments.